Frankie, and welcome to Tales from the Tap, episode 54. This is my co-host,
Stan the Man.
And we are excited to talk to you about what's been happening in Magic after Dragons of Tarkir. But before we do that, a lot has gone on. First off, as you can notice, we're in a new location.
If you can't even tell the difference with our backdrop.
Yeah, it doesn't look any different from the backdrop, but this is the new space.
It might sound different with no echo.
We've got our own office in here. Mm-hmm. Sooner rather than later, there's going to be Commander players in that room while we're able to still do this and not kick people out.
Mm-hmm. Maybe even some streams. That'll be nice. In the new location, not open yet. But enjoying some Ben 10 gaming. Really refreshing to be here, but also, like I said, just eager to open. Still got some logistical issues to figure out before we can do that, but probably going to be open a little bit before Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy looks awesome. Also,
so good, man.
It's like selling like crazy too. Like, we try to price our things pretty fairly at the store because we want to support the locals and our customers that are like day oneers, or just even not just day oneers, but like people that constantly are here.
I've got no job and I'll need it.
Right. Feels like that for me too. But there's such a hard balance when it comes to like pricing. Like, the market price I think on collector boosters right now is like $700+. I think, and Todd and I will like look at stores in the area, see what they're doing, just like kind of see if we can like get an idea of what things are looking like. And I think Nerd Rage had their collector boxes at like $709 for like a couple weeks, maybe, and then they dropped them to like $650. We started at like $450, and then we posted in like all of our like Discord, Facebook groups, like, hey, all of the locals, collector boosters, $450, which is like a super, super fair price. And then after like a week, we're like, okay, up to like market price. Well, not market price like $700. We did Keystone, if you know what that is. For those who don't know, that just means you're making 50% margin. And that's like kind of just keeps the store going, especially while we're closed right now. Kind of really need it.
Sure.
So for like the first week, we're like $450. Then we bumped it up to like $580, I think is Keystone, which is still well below market.
Yeah.
But we have it set up so it's in-store pickups only. And that kind of helps us be like, hey, if you're going to come get our box, actually we did limit one per customer on every product except for play boosters as well. That's also kind of helping it. So it's like, if you're going to get a box at a good price, you got to be somebody that actually comes here. And I want it to be people that are locals primarily, that have a chance to get it at their own leisure, not having to be like, oh, I got to get it right now or I'm going to get scalped,
Right.
And that's such a like big deal to me. It's just so hard to strike that balance all the time. I've been kind of having to deal with it with Pokemon already. So that inadvertently kind of has us ready for Final Fantasy. Because we've been doing a lot of Pokemon in-store only. Like, you have to show me you're fucking ripping the packs right on the spot, that kind of shit.
Oh, sure.
And even then, it's like Pokemon standard boosters, MSRP compared to market price is like insane. That's standard, not like a premium set like Final Fantasy. And so it's going crazy right now in the card game world, although collecting is a good time, playing the games is a good time, so it kind of makes sense to some degree. People think it's like all scalpers. I just think the demand is just really high right now. There's so many people that are into these hobbies, and it's pretty mainstream now, which is cool. I know growing up, a lot of stuff that we used to like that wouldn't have been mainstream kind of made you nerdy,
Yeah.
I
embrace it nowadays.
Nowadays,
I tell people, like, I am a nerd. That's
correct.
correct.
I think since like high school, I could give a fuck, but like, I remember being in like even like middle school era, 7th grade. You're like, oh, I'm not really into Pokemon anymore, So like, I remember as a kid skipping Diamond and Pearl, not only because I couldn't really afford it, but like, it wasn't cool to be into Pokemon.
Sure.
And it's like, what am I doing? So Black and White comes out, and I'm in high school. I'm like, finally.
Well, it's funny you say that too, because a girl that I went to college with, who like we didn't really talk too much. She actually just qualified for like a regional for Pokemon.
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
I saw like she's got like a special page for her like cosplay and Pokemon stuff.
Yeah,
like,
that's so cool.
One page, and I was like, oh, because I think I posted something about Magic once, and she then asked about it, and then I saw her stuff, and I was like, wow,
That's really cool. You'll have to introduce me sometime. I love that kind of stuff. I really love also like supporting people that do their content, cosplay, anything. Anytime somebody comes to the store locally, when they tell me they make videos of anything, even if you're like a small time, like we only have a couple hundred subscribers. Our buddy Goblin Ringleader Jack, he's like at a couple thousand, and he started with nothing even just like 6 months ago. I'm always really supportive of that energy because I think it's just cool, people making content in your area.
Yeah.
And it's just it's more ways to enjoy the games that we already love. Plus it's like fun. It's just really fun. Like doing this podcast has reinvigorated my love of the game, even if it's like stressful sometimes. Like I just had to send Frank to Walmart 20 minutes ago because in the move we lost our 10-foot cable and my desk is really far that way, so we couldn't plug anything in that was working. Stuff like that just like adds all this stress, and then on top of being extra busy with doing all the store opening stuff, like you can see my hair is a mess because I was doing a little bit of I'm no HVAC professional, but trying my best to be useful with me and my dad fixing our unit here. And
I just cry.
yeah, sometimes you can just do that. That's also fine. That was me before we got the toilets fixed because I had to like walk to my mom's gym next door, which is one of the nice things about being here is my mom's actually my neighbor in the strip. So I have her key. And before we had the bathrooms fixed and we thought the water wasn't working, I had to go every time I had to go to the restroom, I'm going over there. And then I'm coming back. There's like ladies doing Zumba. I'm like, cool, I'm just here to poop. Anyways, back to work. And you know me, I have to use the restroom all the time. So it's like, I was like, this is such a problem. But yeah. And for those who don't know, for right now while we're closed, I've been actually running some events at my mom's spot. So like you can see like the punching bag. So we're like making the memes where it's like, oh, you lost, you're mad? Hit the bags. Take it out in there. No malting. Which is really funny.
Fit Magic players.
Yeah, people were saying, they were like, wait, I could work out and play? I'm like, ¿por qué no los dos, Let's just get it done.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Also, it's funny because my mom has like a workout sign where it's like her, like with the weights and stuff, like posing, smiling. And people are like, who's that? And I'm like, yeah, that's my mom. And like, no. I'm like, yeah, that's my mom. Then they're like, we got to get one of you like that. And I'm like, sure, I'll do it. And then one of the Pokemon players is like, if I get top 4 in the event, because we had a challenge, which is like your friend qualifying for regionals or worlds or whatever, nationals. That's how they do it, is to play League Cups, League challenges. Those are like the equivalents of like RCQs.
Yeah.
And so he goes, if I get top 4, can I get the poster of your mom? I was like, shut up, man.
That's weird.
Our Pokemon community is like so unhinged, but they're also just like the funniest people. They're so awesome. Like I love our Pokemon crowd. You should like, if you join our Discord for the store, not Tales from the Tap Discord, but like the Boar Hat Discord. It's like so nice, chill, quiet. People asking questions about the store. You go in the Pokemon channel, and it's like Call of Duty 2008. Like it's crazy in there.
Oh my god.
But like I'll get like automod messages in the staff and admins channel all the time. It's like some crazy stuff got deleted. Here's what they said. And I'm just like, oh. And then every once in a while I'll screen cap the last 5 messages and be like, what's going on in here?
Man.
But yeah, it's been a good time. Can't complain. Speaking of not complaining, I heard that and shout out to our boy Goblin Ringleader. I heard you guys almost got arrested in Wisconsin.
Yes. So we
saw some TikToks, or not TikToks, YouTube shorts about it. Actually, go and check out our channel.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. So we're on our way to Mini. Right. And to give you some context.
Sure.
I told Julian ahead of time. He magically forgot somehow that I was in Libertyville teaching a theater class until 9 o'clock. So I was like, all right, I'm driving to you after that. And then Jack was like, okay, I need you to pick me up. I was like, okay. So I pick him up immediately after. We get to Julian. We're leaving around 11. So it's late. We're going to Minneapolis, leaving at 11 p.m.
Yep. So you're going to get there at 4 in the morning.
Yeah. And I said to my mom, ironically, before leaving, I was like, I don't know, Julian drives pretty fast.
Yeah.
So the only thing I'm worried about is us getting pulled over for speeding.
Right. And Julian always speeds. I always tell him, you don't have to go this fast. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. And guess what? We did. We got pulled over for speeding. We're going 90 and a 70,
Sure.
which actually isn't horrible. But
Yeah, the only thing that sucks is if you're 20 over and then Julian straight up confessed in the story. Like, yeah, I was speeding. It's like, don't say you were speeding, buddy. Like, you got to make them work for it. But 20 over is when it's like mandatory. At least in Illinois, it's mandatory for a ticket. Where like underneath
Ooh.
20, they can be like, I'll let you off with a warning.
Yeah,
oh, you were pregnant. Got it.
you were pregnant.
You know,
I was having hot flashes because
you ever have like a Chipotle and then you're just like, officer, I just had Chipotle, and they're like, go, go, go.
Or White Castle. That's the real one that gets you.
Please don't ever talk about White Castle like that. I love White Castle.
No, dude, it runs through you.
It does, yeah, it does.
But anyway, so
White Castle and Arby's, by the way, like two restaurants that get so much shit. I fucking love.
He loves Arby's, but Arby's
is for winners.
Yeah,
we can
Arby's
only go to
for
Arby's after the tournament if somebody did well.
Yeah. So we get pulled over, and cop walks up and goes, "Hey, do you have anything illegal in the car?" After he does the speeding thing, and Julian says, "Yeah, I've been speeding. Do you have anything illegal in the car, like marijuana? It is illegal in this state, and we're just outside of Eau Claire."
Right.
And so Julian pauses for like 1 second and goes, "No." And the pause made me go, "Oh." And then he pans back to Jack. And if you know Goblin Ringleader, he kind of looks like a stoner. Like
he does look like a stoner. Long, super long hair.
Super long hair. It's like up in the back. He's got the scruffy
the ponytail
hair.
sometimes. True.
Yeah. And he was like in ponytail.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, and he's
and
like,
if you see some of his YouTube shorts, you know he dabbles.
Yeah. So he's got the flashlight on Jack, and he goes, "Are you sure? If you're lying to me, this is going to get a lot worse." And Jack like stops for a moment and goes, "Yes, officer, I'm so sorry." And then like he's like, "All right, come with me." He takes it out of the car, and I could hear like Jack apologizing as he's walking away. And we sit for 1 or 2 minutes. Then they come back and take Julian, take him back. I'm in the car by myself. And then they come and get me, bring me to the front of the car, the cop car. And he goes, "All right, I'm going to ask you to put your hands on the front, and I'm going to cuff you and detain you in the back of my squad car while we search the vehicle." All right, cool. Just so you're aware, there is a canine unit in the back. And I get in the car, and this German Shepherd is going absolutely ballistic. And so I'm like, and I've never been cuffed before.
Sure.
Which one of the guys up in Mini, like part of Jarrett Roche's Arizona group, was like, "Man, you just must have the most boring sex life ever." And I was like, "I've never been cuffed before. I don't know what to say."
That's funny.
And so, I'm sitting there watching them like search through this vehicle, and I'm in the car by myself. I'm closest to our vehicle. They're behind me, and I can see them open, like they pull my Krusty Krab box out, and they have it on top of the car, and they're opening it and like looking through. I see they've got Squidward, and they open him up, and they're looking in there, and they see all these guards. And I was like, "Oh yeah, man, keeping those theater kids off the streets." These card players, man. Cop comes back to my in the car. He looks at our IDs, and I just strike up a conversation with them. I was like, "Oh, I see that your nail's black. Like, what happened?" And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Your nail is like black. What happened?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, the dog back there bit me." And I was like, "Are you for real?" And he's like, "Yeah, we were like playing, and he got me, and and I was like, "Okay." And then he goes, "You guys weren't kidding. That is you do have a lot of cards in there." I was like, "Yeah, we're going to this regional championship. The guy who was driving qualified. Me and my buddy are going there on Friday to try and like qualify last minute." He goes, "All right, well, I'll let you guys go with a warning, or I'll let you guys go in a minute. We'll try to put the stuff back as best we can and let you go." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then, like, so lucky on our part, we did not get a ticket for speeding.
Oh wow!
No charges, no arrest. And he told us, he's like, "Look, if you would have gotten a few miles further, you would have got stopped by the state police. And if the state police pull you over for possession, immediately arrested.
Yeah.
There is no talking about it." And so they just destroyed the weed and let us go.
Nice.
And 3 miles down the road was the state police.
Ooh.
Like, we drove right past them.
Nice. 'Nice. That's actually a good point. He's not wrong. The state police is so much worse.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point. He's not wrong. The state police is so much worse. Nice. That's actually a good point. He's not wrong. The state police is so much worse. Nice. That's actually a good point. He's not wrong. The state police is so much worse. Wow. Okay. So local officers saving the day there. That's kind of nice, man. Because like all my pulled over stories from back in the day are like I don't know how. Because like I'm pretty white passing for a person that's like mostly Hispanic with an entire Hispanic family.
Yep.
And I've been like profiled so many times you wouldn't actually believe it. I'm like, what? Yeah, I guess it does say Mexican on my license or whatever, like Hispanic, you know. But like I got pulled over once and the officer was like insane, dude. Like I'm driving home, not speeding, chilling, and I just see a car like flying around me. First he's next to me here, then he's on this other side, and it's like driving around. And then I look back, I'm like, oh, it's a cop. I'm like, geez. Finally, he pulls me over, and I'm like, what's up? You know? He's like, you know why I pulled you over? No, I don't.
No.
And I always say no, even if I do know. You know, I'm not gonna say yes. But I was like 19 or 20 and maybe I was yeah 19 for sure, and I had like work in like a couple hours. I was at my buddy's house. He was like, you gotta watch the SKT finals with me, like when they won season 3.
Yeah.
I was like, sure. So I went over, we watched it. I'm driving home, and I think it was like around Christmas time because he had given me Christmas cookies from his mom. Cool, no problem. Officer pulls me over. You know how I pulled you over? No. He's like, light in my face. All right, buddy, come on. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, where's the weed? I'm like, I don't smoke. And you know me, I've never been a smoker or drinker. Yeah. So I was like, I don't smoke. He's like, your car reeks of marijuana. I'm like, if you say so, I just don't smoke. He's like, well, let me run your stuff. Me, I had the worst luck of all time. I'm paying my insurance company for an SR22. They didn't send it in. And which is annoying because it's Illinois.
Oh,
like, if you have insurance,
yes, I've heard this story.
If you have insurance, they can just pull it up. But it's like, oh, your license is suspended. I'm like, that's news to me. Why? He's like, it just says financial. It doesn't tell me why. I'm like, what? How is that helpful? My license shouldn't be suspended, you know? And he's like, well, it is. So, and this guy's being like an asshole the whole time. So I'm like, all right, well, what do I do? You know, am I getting arrested? Do I have to call my parents? Am I getting towed? What's the play? And he's like, well, I'm going to search your car because I think there's marijuana in it. I was like, he's like, do you consent? And I'm like, sure, I guess. He's like, well, I'm going to get the canine. I'm like, do whatever you want, man. And so he's searching, and this is like my old 93 Camry, older than me. And there's like in my backseat, like just fuck tons of fat packs. Because I used to just rip, I used to rip tons of product back in the day.
Yeah.
And I loved fat packs. So like my backseat's just full of just fat packs, tons of bulk, all over my backseat. Just a mess. It looks like your car, but worse. And and then
on camera.
On camera, yeah, guys should see Frank's car. And he's going through boxes, and I'm just like sitting there on the curb on the side of the road, like whatever, man. Finally, he's like, I'm going to search you. And I'm okay. He pulls out the plastic bag. He's like, you have any drugs on you? I'm like, no, I don't have shit. Pulls out the bags of the cookies. And I had eaten them all because it was like 4 cookies. It's Christmas tree cookies. So the frosting was green. And he's like, aha. And I'm like, he's like, I found it. I'm like, those are cookie crumbs. He's like, no, this is weed. I'm like, do you want to taste it? Like, and he was just like, okay, you know, just trying to get me. I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? And finally he's like, all right, like I guess some other guy came, like maybe his supervisor or something, was like, well, what's going on? Nothing burger? Okay, cool. Well, you know. So then they're like, we're gonna let you off with a lucky you call your parents to come pick you up. And thankfully my stepdad was like cool about coming to pick me up, and they drove me home. And then I had to literally work at 6 a.m. That all happened at 3 a.m. So I got like 1 hour of sleep, and I was like, what a fucking asshole. I still had to go to court for that too. So I went to court later with the lawyer, and the lawyer was just like, and the judge was like, true. No charges.
No
drop it all.
Charges.
I was like, can I give you a hug, man? The lawyer's like, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what the lawyer said. It was a bunch of fucking nothing burger to me, but he literally got me out so easily. Anyways, enough yapping about our prior arrests or whatever.
Almost arrests.
Yeah, almost arrests.
Arrests are still to come.
Yeah, right. Exactly. We still got time.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about Final Fantasy stuff later? I'm assuming there's some cards you want to talk about.
Oh, yeah, sure. Talk about it later.
Okay, cool. Then for now, we'll just get into some quick housekeeping, give you guys some quick, lovely story time, and oh my god, excuse me. Sorry about that. We'll give you guys some story time, and if you guys want to hook it up and help us out, the best way you can support our show is always on Patreon. For those that are already supporting on Patreon, thank you so much. You guys are the best. We really appreciate you. And if you can't support on Patreon, we understand, but it's always free and easy to support us on Spotify, YouTube, etc. If you follow us on YouTube, that is our main platform. If you want to check if you're subscribed, that is a big deal for us right now. I think we just hit 250. Really trying to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. Realistic goals, hashtag girl boss. But yeah, we just hit 250 subscribers, which we're really proud of, and it's pretty awesome. I think our last podcast episode before we moved out of the last location was one of our top listened to episodes, which is really cool.
It was.
And it's nice. So if you guys are new with us and here for the ride, really appreciate that. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff goes a long way in the algorithm. Check out our YouTube shorts. Frank's been posting a lot of them. I have been a little bit busy, so I haven't posted any in a couple weeks, but otherwise, the show will always be free. If you want to support on Patreon for extra bonus perks, that does help us a long way. I think like $2 or the second tier, whatever, gets you like 1 day early episode, which would be like right now. We're going to upload it tomorrow, and then for the rest of the world, 12 to 24 hours later, and get some coaching, etc. Join our free access Discord. We got like quite a few people in the Discord now. It's getting really active.
Getting big.
We're all talking about Final Fantasy right now, or just bantering with each other, talking shit, and then just streaming. We've been getting a lot of just big group calls every day, 5-6 people in a group call. Somebody's like, all right, run the Moto League. Who's got the mana traders? We want to watch some Vintage Cube. Or
watch me lose on Belcher.
Yeah, stream a Belcher League. I've been streaming some Legacy. It's been fun. Or Steelcutter. Fucking hell of a card. I was wrong. Sorry, Jared. My bad.
That card is
Jared. When Corey Steelcutter was like brand fucking new, we were talking about it at the shop, and then somebody goes, Corey Steelcutters, man, I gotta get them, and they were still like $5 or $10. And Jared goes, that card is nutty. And at the time, it had no results, so I was like, nutty's a strong word. Okay, it's a good card. No, it's fucking nutty.
Nutty.
My bad. Totally wrong. Card is insane. Mentor in 2025.
Mentor but better.
Yeah. But anyways, like we said, join our Discord. It's free. Get some access in there. And if you want to join our Patreon, there's always like coaching sessions we can work on, sideboard guys we can help you with. We'd even play your deck with you on a league. I'm always happy to run it down, or even have you play a league and then I can coach you from the sideline, stuff like that. With that being said, we're going to just jump into some tournament talk. So Frank has been going to a bunch of tournaments recently. I haven't hosted an event at the store yet because we've been closed. And I haven't gone to any events besides Legacy at Nerd Rage because I promised I'd go if I wasn't busy, which I wasn't because we weren't running Friday Night Magic. Sadly.
I know. I feel so lost being like, oh, am I going to go to the store this week? No.
People messaging me and not being here is actually getting uncomfortable. Like, there's a lot of stress with like being the person that everybody reaches out to, and like as an owner but also operator, like I'm here 70 hours when we're open, but being closed, I'm like, what is going on? You know what I mean? I'm like,
his life's too quiet.
I'd rather, especially now that I have my back office, like, hey, events running, cool, we're closed. Like anything, man. Yeah, it's just weird. All right, so. What are we going to talk about first? Frank's going to leave me because I have no idea what the script looks like. I haven't had any time to read it.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give like an update of like what's happening within Standard and like what decks are flourishing, what's doing well, because we really haven't talked about like what's been going on with Standard post, first Dragons of Tarkir and of the big thing, Corey Steelcutter being into the format. So that's the big one, of course. There's a lot of like, is it Prowess running around? That's known. But there's some other stuff too. So at the showdown that just happened in Brazil, first place was Omniscience combo, followed by red deck wins, blue red aggro, Boros aggro, Dimir, and then Golgari, and then mono black.
Do you know if the Boros aggro is also Corey Steelcutter?
Let me see.
Because that'd be pretty cool. But like I'm assuming with Lightning Helix and Boros Charms. Because it could just be mice again.
Nope, it's just mice.
Just mice with Boros Charm?
It's Burst Lightning, Monstrous Rage, Obliterating Bolt. It's running Mabel.
Mabel is white.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mabel's the one that makes Craig Flame. Yeah.
I was just wondering what the white was for because I remember seeing Barth that girl.
Yeah, it's running Sheltered by Ghosts.
Yeah,
and,
Sheltered by Ghosts is really
Shard
good.
Mage's Rescue.
Charmage. Yep. Okay, cool. So it's just classic Boros from like a couple months ago.
Yeah, classic
Really
Boros.
Cool. Classic, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But no, still, like I love that there's so many different aggro decks that are so viable. Even though Prowess is kind of getting a little bit annoying, I genuinely could actually see Corey Steelcutter getting a ban just because of how consistent it is in just basically every format. But I do think rotation would have to happen first before I'm comfortable with it just being like axed. You know what I mean?
That's so funny that you say that, and I'm really glad that you said that because one of the things that I actually was saying in Minneapolis, because I played Blue Rod Prowess for the events that I played for that weekend at Standard, and I said this card will be banned. It will be banned. I have no, like, if I ever took a strong stance on something, it would be this card. We already pre-Corey Steelcutter kind of felt like, wow, Standard is really fast. Like, Magic is fast right now.
Final Fantasy still has a chance to give us Path to Exile, I think.
But
there is one card in Final Fantasy that kind of cooks Corey Steel. Like, you just straight up steal it from them with an ninjutsu.
Oh.
I don't know if it's actually a standard card. I'm going to say that, and then it's going to fucking be a commander card again. I'm going to be like, I hate when that happens. Like, it happened to even Marty earlier. He's like, this card's pretty cool. Oh, I read it wrong. Damn it. Or then this other card, Julian was like, this card's cool. And then JD's like, commander only. But yes, agreed to your point.
Yeah,
Standard, kind of fast, very, very powerful. Just needs some better removal.
Well, not just that. Like, the majority of Standard is not rotating. Like, if you look at what's in red, like, it's Emberheart Challenger, Corey Steelcutter, Manifold Mouse, Screaming Nemesis, Heartfire Hero, The Monstrous Rage is still not rotating because that's in Wild.
Right.
Yeah. So
notably, Temporary Lockdown is rotating.
Yes, and that I thought was important as well because that is like the best piece to kind of answer these decks right now, and it's getting removed. So it's like unless we get some type of answer.
Well, to be fair, Jeskai mid-range because it's a mid-range deck. Shiko split up Lightning Helix is pretty good.
Yeah, no, that deck is still like good.
I just think that with none of it rotating can be a good answer to these aggro decks because it literally is a mid-range deck and mid-range preys on aggro. But I agree. Yeah, like there's so many different aggro decks you have to worry about. So like playing control is just like a pipe dream. But
a pipe dream.
But like your mid-range deck has to be really efficient on all angles, which is why I was hoping we'd get a really efficient card like Path to Exile for Standard if there was ever a time. I've been saying it over and over. Path to Exile would be so good in this format, and it'd be cool to have it from Final Fantasy with that kind of artwork.
Yeah, I think
I'm sure there's. I don't know any of the stories of the games. Jared will tell me, but somebody's got to been pathing on Exiling or something, going on a little wanderer's journey. The original art for it was like Conflux. I think Johnny was getting something. I don't remember the lore, but I don't know. Path to Exile would be such a cool card because of the exiling mattering. Like we talked about how bouncing is so good because you don't want to get these death triggers on these guys, but the land ramp is actually punishing, but also if you're killing a Heartfire hero, you're like, I don't care at all.
Don't care at all.
1 mana is like hyper efficient, and we lost March of the Really Light, which was a big deal.
And it's instant speed, and I also think that it would be a really big player in like sideboards of formats as well, because like right now people have even been mainboarding Elspeth Smite, which only works when they're attacking or blocking.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's so conditional.
I'm glad they give us Elspeth Smite again in Foundations, but I feel like that should be the sideboard card for the mainboard path.
Yeah,
I definitely agree. But yeah, to your point, I'm currently not like if I had to choose right now, I wouldn't ban it. But where the trajectory of the format is going, and having looked at the events and some of the results, I'm like, man, there's too many aggro decks for this one deck to be like that efficient on that one angle, you know?
Yeah.
Because like the mice, all the other guys, right now, we can sweep them pretty quickly. And if you do, they usually have a hard time coming back. Temporary Lockdown is still not gone for 1 more set, 2 more sets.
Temporary Lockdown?
Yeah.
I thought
Rotation was Edge of Eternity. Is this a Final Fantasy?
I think it's in between. I think it's July.
Yeah, I think the
end of
next
July.
set is Rotation. Edge of Eternities.
It is Edge of Eternities. I just don't know when it is.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that's when rotation is, if I'm not mistaken.
But that means it's like a month and a half after Final Fantasy.
Yeah, yeah, and I do think Final Fantasy is a big game. Like same with Tarkir, where we were like, hey, Tarkir's going to impact the format really, really heavily, and it did. I think Final Fantasy will also have a lot to say.
Yeah, I think that I'm gonna actually try this week. I need you to hold me accountable to like actually spec on some cards for the first time in my whole life, because I do feel in Final Fantasy that there are some cards that are broken. I don't know why people don't think that this red blue wizard dude is like not absolutely cracked out of his mind.
Red Blue Wizard. Tell me what it does.
It is okay.
Do you want to pull it up and we can talk about something else?
Yes.
Because like I have been looking at the Final Fantasy cards, but I have, you know me, when I'm like reading and glazing stuff, I'll read it once and be like, wow, that's awesome or terrible in the moment, and then I just completely forget the name of the card and what it does.
Okay, Vivi Orniteer.
Okay.
1 blue red.
Okay.
Legendary creature wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on Vivi Orniteer, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. It's a 0/3. And then you can pay 0 mana and add X mana and any combination of blue and or red, where X is Vivi Orniteer's power. Activate only during your turn and only once each turn.
Activate the mana ability?
Yeah.
And it gets a counter every time you cast a non-creature spell?
Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets a counter and shoots a damage.
That's pretty cool.
And then being able to be like, cool, do this thing to like cast Sleight of Hand, cast Opt, pay 0 mana, make 2 mana, adjusted 2 damage to you.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty. It's also like, I'm trying to think, like, because there's been cards like this before that like come out and it's like a blue-red 3-drop wizard. Like even like an Altar the Gatewatch, I remember Jorian Ruin Diver came out and it was like blue-red 1 for a wizard that was like, if you cast your second spell in a turn, you draw a card. And when that first came out, it was like, oh, this is awesome, you know, like 3 mana, just like extra value. And every time they print like the next version of that type of card, it always ends up being like pretty relevant, even if it's only for like a day. This is the kind of card though that I think could be interesting because like there's no cap on it and you could just keep going. So there's got to be something you can chain it into, even if it's like spell stock up, you know, like that could even just be like crazy.
Well, and if it doesn't die, the next turn you cast a few spells, then you're like, I have 6 free mana.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what?
Right. Cards like that have like taunt built in, like must answer or you're gonna lose, are also really cool. So yeah, I definitely am more on board with what you're saying than not. If nobody's talking about that card, that seems wrong. At the very least, I think it's playable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The other reason why I think I haven't made the short for it yet, so you guys will see it before this episode's even released. But the other reason why I think that Final Fantasy is big game is because for so long there are these 3 and 4 mana creatures that just look like they're so cool.
Okay.
But in constructed Magic, you need a card to do a lot, like it at 3 and 4 mana for it to be playable, right?
Yeah, it's got to do a lot. It's got to be better than Siege Rhino.
Well, and it does have to be better than Siege Rhino. And on top of it, like usually it has to do something when it enters play.
Right.
And so there are a couple cards already off the bat that like they have not only enter play triggers, but they also have on attack triggers as well. So there's this card, Kefka, Court Mage. It's 2 Grixis mana. Whenever Kefka enters or attacks, each player discards a card. Then you draw a card for each card type among cards discarded this way. You can pay 8 and each opponent sacrifices a permanent of their choice. Then you can transform Kefka only as a sorcery, and it turns into some crazy giant 5/7 that whenever it does damage, you draw cards equal to how much life they've lost. And
it's a 5 mana creature in the front?
It's a 4/5.
No, 5 mana.
Yeah, 5 mana, 4/5. But that trigger is enters and attacks.
Yeah.
The same is true for this other card, Emmett Selch, Unsundered. 1 blue-black, Elder Wizard Vigilance. Whenever Emmett Selch enters or attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 14 or more cards in your graveyard, you may transform it, and it's a 6/6 something. But it's a 2/4. 2/4 Vigilance, enters and attacks. Draw a card, discard a card. What?
I know that we're about to have rotation for like Dominaria block, block. But Legends Matters is getting a lot of cards in this set too. There was a lot of cards where I was like, damn, these cards really want to play with other legendary creatures. And we still haven't lost Dominator United, where we have like Rona, Relic of Legends, and all of that package to kind of work with still.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, we don't have Otawara and Takanuma anymore, which is a big deal. But I'm sure there's something to be done there. I think that Legends Matter would be pretty cool.
Well, even beyond that, you know how, like in a similar vein, you know how Zur is rotating
Right.
out of
Which
domain?
is honestly, thank God, because Overlords, Zur, keep it in Pioneer. You know what I mean? Like, send that shit away.
It's really good and it's kind of too good, but this card isn't as good as Zur, but also seems kind of crazy.
Mhm.
Yuna, Hope of Spira, 3 green-white for a 3/5. During your turn, Yuna and enchantment creatures you control have Trample, Lifelink, and Ward 2.
Mhm.
At the beginning of your end step, return up to 1 target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield with finality counter.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Let me see. This is Yuna. I was going to say, I don't know which one is the one, but one of them is like Jared's profile picture. Also, another one of the characters is Robert's name on Discord. Garland or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like finally seeing all the final. I don't play Final Fantasy.
I didn't either.
I've played like a little bit of a couple of them. I don't know anything about Final Fantasy, relevant at least. I know some of the memes. But yeah, seeing everybody's like stuff now on Discord or wherever, I'm like, oh, I get it now. You're
A nerd.
You called me a weeb? No way, bro.
No way, bro.
But yeah, a lot of these Final Fantasy cards are so cool. I think we'll have to talk a lot about them in 2 weeks with the next episode. Hopefully that's dropping before. Oh, it will be.
It would have to be.
It will definitely be before pre-release.
It'll be
The
pre-release.
next episode, we're going to definitely talk about pre-release. Same kind of context where we cut down the amount of cards to talk about to talk more quantitative about like
Yeah, and to give
everything.
like takes about the format.
Exactly, takes about the format.
Takes about what's going
And
to
then
happen.
Frank's going to give us his
Constructed.
like top 5 predictions of some busted cards or whatever. Maybe
Yeah.
sneak that in there. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, maybe we'll even do a double doozy. We'll see. We'll see how crazy it is. It was fun doing that double episode week, even though it was really exhausting. That was a fun time.
Exhausting. But it was a good time.
I like that kind of. It feels sometimes where we're like, I wish we could talk for 3 hours, but then that's a little bit too much, you know.
Too much.
Well, it's exhausting, you know. People that I think underestimate how exhausting it can be.
Yeah,
I sometimes take it for granted.
every time now, everyone's like, "I want to start a podcast." I'm like, it's work.
I'm like,
I thought it would
regret
just
it.
be like, "Fuck."
Should have done YouTube videos.
You regret it, lol.
Podcast is like, don't start with the podcast if you want to make content. Fair advice: start with YouTube videos. It's hard to do podcast first, I would say, but only because it's so
learned
time
the hard
consuming.
way.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, though, we're doing this mostly for fun and mostly as like a way to add substance to what we do, and then more for like community building, which I think has actually really panned out. Our community building has gone really crazy. I'm super happy with it and where we are with Boar Hat and everything.
Yeah, I feel like that things have gotten a lot better in the last like few years since we've started the podcast. I mean, like
I just
don't
had our
know,
friend
is-
group.
Is
It's
this
so much fun.
Yeah, and is this year 1 for us together, or is this year 2
We're
for
in
us
the
together?
second year. We have to be because this is episode 54.
Yeah.
And we started together in episode 7. So if you do 52 weeks, yeah, we're easily, because it would be 26 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're definitely in year 2, which is cool. I mean, damn, like I didn't think we'd get to over 50 episodes, if I'm being quite honest.
Wow, how positive.
Well, 50 is a lot. And only every 2 weeks is crazy, but not to tangent too hard. I think there was like, what was it? Todd was saying there was some statistic like 90% of podcasts don't make it past like episode 9 or 10 or something like that.
Oh yeah, they don't.
Which even if you don't count the first 6 episodes, since we weren't together, 48 episodes together is crazy.
Oh yeah. I mean, we definitely have been going for a long time, and we're hooking.
All right, so what's the next one? RC Minneapolis, it looks like?
Yeah, before we do that, I just wanted to just briefly talk about, like I was talking about cards that we were seeing in decks.
Perfect.
The next thing is Omniscience combo. So one of the super awesome things that I didn't realize that actually would make me want to play Omniscience combo is they've really slotted themselves into playing the Dragons package. So they
What do
started.
you mean by that?
So they started playing Roiling Dragonstorm.
Okay.
Which Roiling Dragonstorm is 1 and a blue enchantment. When this enchantment enters, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. When a dragon you control enters, return the enchantment to its owner's hand.
Right.
This deck is also playing 4 of Meringue River Region.
Yeah.
Which is the draw 3 discard. It's just another outlet for them to have the ability to pitch 2 outlets to pitch Omniscience. But then they've also got a really awesome like backup plan now, of like, I now have a 6/7 dragon that bounce 2 things and I'm gonna start killing you.
Well, with Omniscience, if you have all 4, you're like boom, 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 go. And that's basically like empty the warrens and bounce all your threats. Good luck.
Yeah, they've got it's got a better.
Are they still doing
plan.
Jeskai explosion spell? The big 7-drop unplayable spell unless you're playing this combo deck.
That's in the Jeskai control deck.
Really? I thought they were playing it in Omni because you could go as long as you had more than 10 cards in deck, you were like killing them.
It could be. It's just not specifically in this list.
Gotcha. So they took it out for the Dragons package. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And then the Shiko deck's actually playing it, the 7-drop. Because I was saying like how you were like, I want to cast this, and I was like, there's no way that's going to be good in standard. 7 mana is so much for how medium the spell is.
Oh yeah. I played against it.
Yeah, and it's in the Shiko deck.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
It just feels like, and especially on Prowess, like the gaining the 4 life and then bouncing something and drawing a million cards.
Yeah, it's like draw 2, gain 4, bounce or counter. Well, I guess you're countering by bouncing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, you make some dudes, right?
You also make 2 Prowess dudes. Yeah,
yeah, really cool spell.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm glad it's getting some play because like when I saw the card like you, I was like, this is a cool card, but like my heart was telling me like, there's no way this is playable. But I guess you can like really find the shell for it.
Well, and on top of it, it's just another life gain thing on top of what they're already doing with life gain things. Like if they go lockdown on 3 and you're trying to rebuild, and then they go Beza, okay, I gained some life in my bodies, and then it's like, any removal after that, then they are getting to turn 7 and then they cast a thing and then it's over.
Right. See, that even more solidifies me in the position that it's like a mid-range deck. Like you're playing Shiko, Beza, probably Meringue in some capacity. This 7-drop aggressively mediocre spell. And it's like, I want to kill you with creatures. I've got like double-digit creatures in my deck. All my spells are like 2-for-1s. I have very low sweeper count. And my best sweeper is like a synergy spell with my flashback guy. If they want to call it control, that's fine. But it's for sure a mid-range like play style. And the deck itself is so cool because I was worried that these like mid-range dragon shells were going to be medium. Like we haven't really seen Teamer pop off like we wanted it to. And to be fair, I do think it's playable, but it's probably just tier 2 because of how powerful the aggro decks are.
How fast they are.
They're just so fast.
And they don't have the removal.
Well, they don't have anything early like Jeskai does. Jeskai has such a good early plan for that package, especially with Split Up and Lockdown. Those are like pivotal cards. For like Teamer, I think they were playing the 4-mana guy where it's like if you cast something big, you draw a card or whatever. I'm like, this is a vanilla creature. It doesn't do anything. Like it barely even fucking blocks.
Right.
And so like that's the best they can do. Nah, Teamer isn't doing shit.
Yeah.
They need a card. They need some help. Maybe it'll be that new I think Lightning got spoiled. She's kind of cool. I wish they had given her haste. I kind of think maybe it would be too good.
It might be too good.
It might be too good with haste, but I feel like just fucking do it. Like look at Corey Steele. Like fucking give her haste. But you saw the lightning, right? 3-mana red creature. She's got menace. She's a 2/3, and she's basically like Lelia from like a commander deck, and ended up being in Modern Horizons, I think. But when she attacks, if she connects, you exile a card, and you can cast it for as long as you control the lightning. So like she's just like that's like such a legacy card if she has haste. Like you're like, oh yeah, turn 1, I'm playing this with a Chrome Mox, I'm cheesing it out, I'm hitting you, I'm getting a spell off the top of my deck. It's a great spell. Like, or you do that on turn 2 after you like Blood Moon them, and then you're just like, yeah, now I'm drawing cards and I'm gonna get my Broadside Bombardiers and I'm gonna blow your cock off. and it doesn't have haste, so it's like, Lelia has haste, and she's not even getting played in Legacy right now. So it is what it is. Hopefully her or Terza can get some love in Pioneer, maybe.
Yeah.
Pioneer needs some love too.
It,
by the
it
way.
does
Like,
need some love.
Pioneer needs some
Well,
fucking love.
I just think that the love that it needs is like a tournament, so that people can actually like cook
Mhm.
because no one cares.
Yeah,
Thank you, Wizards. This is what I complained about back in November.
I
was
know.
like,
We
now,
should do team trios and then do Pauper instead of Legacy, because we couldn't have another P format that's definitely going to earn you an invite.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. What else you got?
Last card that I had that I wanted to talk. Well, one back to decks that are playing black is Unholy Annex, which I think is really sweet
Oh,
because
yeah.
I don't know why anyone ever stopped playing that card. It's too good.
Well, it was getting bounced off the fucking face of the earth, but
Yeah.
now I forgot what deck they were playing it in, but it was really nice. What was the list?
So there was a Golgari list and a mono black list.
I forgot. Maybe that's not the one I'm thinking of. I just remember seeing.
Oh, there's
Annex.
also a Pixie list.
A Pixie list that was playing Annex.
Yeah, so
Yes.
blue black or black white
With
Pixie,
Kaito and
Orzhov
Annex.
Pixie. No, it was Orzhov Pixie.
Oh, just Orzhov. I thought I
Just
saw a
Orzhov.
Kaito
And
Annex
it was
deck.
a list that was like meant to beat Prowess, where it's playing like 4 lockdowns and Unholy Annex.
I could be wrong, Jared. If you can hear this, this is for you.
No,
I
you
swear
know
to God,
I'll
I
hear
saw
this.
a Kaito Annex list, and I was like, like poggers or whatever. But yeah, Orzhov with Unholy Annex for sure.
Yeah.
Unholy Annex is such a cool card. Unless you're playing Pioneer, in which case you hate it.
Yeah, but outside of that, the card that really impressed me in the mono blacklist that I saw in those Pixie lists too was Corsi Revenant, which is the 1 black new Vampire Nighthawk.
Oh,
flying
yeah.
Death Touch lifelink. But what's so
Love that
cool
card.
is that you pay 3 mana and then you put Vampire Nighthawk text on another creature,
Mhm.
which makes it really hard to deal with if you're like, I need you to not gain life because I'm playing as a Prowess.
Right.
So like if you gain any life, I'm losing.
Right.
And like that card was like big scary.
Yeah, I wish Urborg Scavengers ended up being more playable. Julie and I kept trying to play Urborg Scavengers, and there's so many keyword soup cards in the format right now. Even like Valgavoth Slayer giving like hexproof out of like a land. Just so close.
Oh, you just have to hit like
Well, we were doing it with Zombify, so you had like a backup plan for your discard outlets, and it just wasn't enough.
Have you ever heard of Valgavoth?
Yeah, we tried it.
Because if you hit Valgavoth, then it's like
Dude, I was
it's
reanimating
got-
Valgavoth before I uninstalled Arena Forever, and Julie and I were like, "This is awesome!" Like we were even playing Kiora, and it was just like Zombify as Valgavoth, blow their cock off, and Nowhere to Run ended up becoming really good. So then Valgavoth got a lot worse.
That was my best matchup that I faced. It was actually I was 2-0
Mhm.
in round 3 of the 5K. And faced a Grixis Reanimator list.
Ugh.
That was like reanimating Atraxa and Valgavoth, and like I absolutely obliterated him. It was
Yeah.
awesome, but
Eat my heart out.
yeah, sorry.
Kind of reminds me of I was playing the team event with Bozinski and Jared, and I ended up playing against the Grixis Crimes deck with like Gissa and everything. It was so much fun. I was like, God bless you for playing this deck. Also, I'm playing Rafine.
Playing Rafine, wee!
Yeah. Although I did lose game 2 really, really bad. Like I just didn't have enough removal. And it was like one of those where you like miss a land drop for a fucking turn because Rafine was like just the most horrific mana base. And
that base was bad.
And then you're
I love
like,
that deck,
and that was a
though.
better mana base than what they have now for Pixie. It was still really bad. Here, and then you would miss the 3rd land drop or not have exactly the colors, and then that cost me game 2, like Gissa, zombies, blah blah blah. I was just like, game 3. But yeah, what a fun time.
That's what I had for cards. Now let's just talk about like what happened at these events.
Okay.
So at that event, top 8 Omniscience combo, red deck, which I believe this red deck was playing Corey Steelcutter.
If it's mono red, I should have been playing Corey Steel.
It wasn't. It was Mice and Tursa Light Chatter. Tursa Light Chatter is awesome.
Tursa's great.
Uh,
Wait, so does that mean Kowalczyk wasn't playing Corey Steel either?
No. Kowalczyk was playing Corey
Okay,
Steelcutter.
so I saw it. I saw his list, and I just assumed everybody in mono red switched to Corey
Yeah,
Steel.
no, he's just the smart.
Right.
Two blue-red aggro prowess players, one Boros, one Dimir, one Golgari, one mono black. Dimir actually is making a big resurgence because it preys on, like, if they just go, when I did lose, so I, spoiler, in the 5K, I went 5-2 and ended up placing 12th of the 100 people that were in it, which felt awesome to, like, prize an event. You know, we talked about top 8ing an event, but, like, prizing one this early was like,
hey, getting some money
sweet.
back, Hank. You know, nothing to...
Yeah. Can't complain. And I got a Prosperous Innkeeper foil promo that I sold. It was like $25. I got 13 or whatever.
Nice.
But anyway, I don't remember what that had me talking about.
Dimir
yes, Dimir. I faced a guy on Dimir midrange, and the thing that was like that he just blew me to pieces with was he was like, turn 1, go for the throat your thing. I say, oh, okay.
Turn 1?
Yeah.
You mean cut down?
Yes.
Okay, I'm making sure.
He goes, cut down your thing. And I was like, geez. And then next turn I go, okay, well, I'll play an otter and then pass. And he goes, okay, cool. Before we go to your turn, I'll cut down again. I was like, okay, great. And then, like, I went to cast Corey, and he goes, Spell Pierce. And then I go, stock up, and he countered that too. And then I, like, tried to buy back stock up with my Corey Steelcutter, and he duressed me, like, 1 turn earlier, and then duressed that out of my hand. I was like...
Oh, you mean with Storm Chasers? You like did
yeah, I bought it back with Storm Chasers.
Yeah, and then you're like, duress. Oh.
Duress, kill it. And I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. Like, I didn't get to play stock up the first time. He duressed it the second time. So it can, like, when it draws like that, yeah, you feel like you're on top of the world, and it can really brand the deck really well, but sometimes it's just too slow.
Right.
So that's what the top 8 looked for that event. At RC Mini, which we went to, our poor soldiers, almost everyone of, like, people that we knew, not just, like, our group, tanked.
Yeah.
The best was Jarrett. I think went 5-4, did not make day 2.
Damn.
So Is It Prowess was 33.5% of the meta. 447 people played it. Jeskai Oculus was 12.7. The real Jeskai deck, because that deck, when it puts a 5/5 out, like, really quick, really hard for Is It Prowess.
I love to see Oculus getting played too, because people were disrespecting my boy, and it's like, no.
Oculus is so good.
I've been playing Vintage Cube as well for the boys on Discord, and, like, Oculus is fucked up.
It's a messed up card. I think it's really broken.
Can I just say, somebody on Vintage Cube last week, Jared was there, so he can attest. I have witnesses. Somebody was like, I was playing against this guy in Vintage Cube, and we were grinding. It's like a tough match. And then he goes, all right, tap 15 mana. I'm like, oh, he's casting Emrakul? I'm dead. No. He flipped the Manifest. It was Emrakul. And I died from the 15 damage, obviously. But I was just like, oh my god.
That's so cool.
That's nasty.
That's hilarious.
Well, you did it.
Then it's Mono Red Aggro, 7.8%, 104 players. Domain, 7.3. Omniscience, 6.4. Control, 5.5. Pixie, Orzhov, 3.4. Dimir Midrange, 3.0. I don't care about the rest. That's what the breakdown looked like.
130 is a Prowess. It's so cringe. It's like... these are the people that sign up because they're like, I hope my deck carries me. Okay, buddy.
For Jeskai, for Is It Prowess?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I 100% disagree.
Oh yeah, you didn't just pick it up because it's the best deck.
No, I absolutely picked it up because it's the best.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, hold on.
But when you said, like, let this deck carry me.
Yeah.
I thought you meant, like, you know, I hope my deck top decks well. I was like, no.
Well, I mean that too, but
no.
Prowess, it's like it's like a flavor of the month deck where, like, every once in a while there's like a deck that comes out and it's like so new and hot, but like also really strong. And like the guys that show up with the deck for the first event, I'm just like, look at you. You disgust me.
I want $100, man. I can't complain. I don't know what you mean.
That's what I'm saying, but like no practice. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, my practice was Arena.
Yeah.
While Julian was driving, I was like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
The thing that I'll stop the side tangent about is that this, to me, felt like the best Storm Chasers deck I've played.
Oh, for sure.
I've-
It is so crazy.
I played Blue Black Bounce. I played Pixie.
Mhm.
I played something else with Storm Chasers.
Storm Chasers
down.
is a good card.
It's a good card, but what I felt like the other decks lacked, and like Pixie got a little bit better with stock up, but sometimes you just like don't have a draw spell and you just cry because of it because you're like, I can't draw into more action.
Yeah, that's why I really like stock up.
Yeah, and when every single card in the deck is like sleight of hand, opt, stock up, like you're just like I have dudes that like get bigger when I cast these cantrips, and I'm just like whoop, whoop, whoop,
Right.
whoop, 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 whoop. I played a game against Julian where we were playtesting day one after the LCQs, or like in between LCQs, and he like puts me to 1. I have not touched him with damage. It's turn 4 for me. I kill him at 20.
Yeah.
Like slick shot, with a second Corey's, but you're done.
Yeah.
So
Slick shot, yeah. Corey's and Slick shot together. Best friends.
It even makes me feel like, right, I've been practicing Belcher because like people have recommended it for me, but I'm like, should I just play Prowess in Modern? Because it looks
I mean, in theory, you could.
easy and dumb.
The thing is, I think Belcher is also easy and dumb. For different reasons. Like, you got to work for it a little bit more. Because, like, there's only one game plan. It's like when you're prowessing, right?
Yeah.
But I think Belcher gives you that little bit extra versatility.
It probably does. And I think
Not that Prowess isn't more nuanced in Modern than it is in Standard. It definitely is. And then you go to Legacy, it's even more nuanced, where you have, like, Force of Wills and bobbles, and too many bobbles sometimes, or maybe not enough, or when do you hold them, when do you fold them?
Yeah, it's the reason is that sometimes the deck just like plays itself, whereas I think that I also feel biased because I've had 3, like I went like 0-3 drop 1-4 2-3 on Belcher on Moto, and I think that some of that has to do with like I keep just getting rolled over by Prowess players because they kill me on turn 3.
Yeah, that could be it too.
And I'm like,
Prowess is kind of a hard matchup for a lot of decks.
Really hard matchup for Belcher, I will say. It's like
I feel
very tough.
I feel like it's closer than that, but I think you just have to have more experience on the Belcher deck probably.
Oh, I could have won one of my matches
Control,
today.
like for sure gets rolled by Prowess, but I think Belcher has like a better matchup. Especially with that -2 card, being Veil, yeah. Belcher, because like I've been hanging out in Discord quite a lot with the extra free time I have, and like I've been watching people play, and one of the things I noticed is like a lot of our friends, and I think sometimes you may fall victim to this too, is like, and I kind of have the problem in the opposite direction, but like a lot of people play with no balls, and like you guys have to have some fucking balls when you play. Like sometimes you just gotta fucking sit there. Like I was playing with Sal, and Sal was playing his Belcher deck, and thankfully Sal had no hesitation with just listening to me. But some people I'm like, hey, you shouldn't do that, and they run their spell. And I'm like, all right, well, you died, and I'm not gonna say like I'm always right, like obviously I'll fuck up too, but like with this specific game, Sal was playing Belcher, and he's playing against Demir. The guy has no threats, nothing in play, just cards in hand. And Sal is in a board state where he's like, I could jam my combo with Belcher or just sit there, but like sitting there feels bad. You feel like as a player, you're like, oh, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not gaining board state. And I'm like, just fucking pass the turn. Don't do anything. Just pass the turn. What if who cares? Just what the fuck does he have? He's not killing you. Your deck always has a better win con than him. And at best, he has to represent like a Psychic Frog or a Murktide for you to be afraid.
Love Psychic Frog.
Yeah, but like one of those cards has to be in play for you to be dead. The Demir midrange deck is never going to be like one shot you, but you always have the gun to his face. So I'm like, if you're the one holding the shotgun, but you need shells, just chill. Wait till the fucking shells show up. So we literally sit there, pass turn, pass turn, pass turn, and it's all moto. 7 turns pass. The guy all of a sudden now he's discarding the hand size. I'm like, cool. We have 8 cards in hand. We don't want to discard the hand size. Run a spell out. He has to answer it. And now he looks dumb because he's discarding the hand size. He doesn't have every counter spell. And we're just like, cool. Draw a Belcher, cast a Belcher. You counter it, go. No threat? Cool. My turn. Draw a card. And then just like it just got to the point where we just had too much lands in play because they're all tap lands in Belcher, right? Half of them at least. And it's like
all of them are.
You have 2 of them that you can bolt, I think.
Oh, you've got multiple that you can bolt.
Yeah, so like half your lands are tap lands in Belcher, which kind of feels bad sometimes, but you just gotta like play with like you gotta feel yourself sometimes. And like the same thing is true with like when you're playing Prowess. Play the hand aggressively if you feel it's what you have to do. And if you can respect things, respect them, but you just like sometimes you just can't respect things. Another game we were playing, it was Legacy, and buddies holding on to like 3 counter spells, like Daze and Force of Wills. So these are spells that are really inefficient because they always set you back. You know, if I Force of Will you, I'm down a card. And if I Daze you, I'm down a land tempo. And that's fine when you're ahead or even. You're like, well, I had to do it. But he's not ahead or even, I would say, because the other guy had more lands than him with an Ancient Tomb. And the guy goes stock up to pay 2 life. I have a mana open. And Jared's like, you got to counter this. And the guy's like, yeah, I have to counter this. I'm like, why? It's a fucking stock up. Just let him draw 2 cards. If it was his last card in hand, 100%. But they do have like 5 cards in hand. I'm like, what's he going to do? Stock back up to 7? You have 3 cards. You're not getting anything out of this. So then they counter it and then draw nothing, pass. The guy stock ups again. I'm like, you shouldn't have countered either one of these. This guy took 2 turns off. You could have been like drawing something, countering like a hardcore threat, something that actually kills you, because stock up doesn't kill you, you know? So like those are the kind of plays where I'm like questioning like the decision making. And I'm sure because Belcher is a lot more nuanced than Prowess, when you play it, you're like, oh shit. For sure some of the decision making is being questionable.
Oh yeah.
And then you won't even notice it because it's like a playstyle difference, or the deck just it's like when the deck has an unintuitive game plan, that's where it gets weird. So like to your point, Prowess, yeah. Pretty easy. Turn him fucking sideways.
Well, so I did a re-CQ on Belcher while I was there. And it was I
remember.
My only game was against Belcher. So I'm facing the mirror.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake of like, and I never thought about it like this, and I had the thought and said it out loud later, was that if I have 2 counter spells and I can present the combo, I will win if they have 2 counter spells.
Right.
And so I played scared and went, well, what happens if he's got like Consign and then this and then that?
Right.
And in reality, he had Commandeer and a Flare of Denial. With 2 creatures on board. And I had a Tameshi, another creature, a Flare of Denial, and a Disrupting Shawl. And so if I go present the combo, and he goes, cool, I'm going to Flare of Denial.
So does that mean you had 7 mana?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I had the ability to... I would have had 7 mana, but I wouldn't have went all in on like bouncing all my lands, bringing back the Lotus, and going...
Tameshi. You're right. Well, if you can resolve Tameshi...
Tameshi was already out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tameshi and one other creature.
Well, yeah, I understand now. You had to sack all your lands.
Yeah, so I would have had to sack all my lands and go all in on the combo right there.
Okay.
And he had in hand a Commandeer and a Flare Denial. So if I go present the combo and he goes Flare, I go Flare.
Right.
Or no, I go Disrupting Shawl. I have to Disrupting Shawl. Get rid of my Tameshi that I have in hand. And then he goes Commandeer, and then I go Flare, and then I win.
Right.
But I didn't because I played scared. And he drew a Flare of Denial for turn and then did the same thing where he goes combo and I go counter and he goes counter and I go counter and he goes counter. And I was like, well.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there it's like, I don't fault you entirely because like, you see a guy with 4 cards because he's commandeering. So what is he, like 5 cards in hand, 4 cards in hand?
Yeah, he did.
So like
he had the ability to commandeer and counter.
I almost would have been like, I might have held there too, you know? Because like a lot of times, like I said, I have the problem the other direction. Like, show me. Oh fuck, he had it, you know? But like I don't really entirely fault you there where maybe it was right. Maybe he had 3 counter spells, you know, and you would have to hold there. But he has 3 counter spells, no combo. And then you wait 1 more turn, you hit 3rd counter spell. I know for Belcher mirrors, it can be kind of nuanced where you're like, I really have to start hitting these guys aggressively. It almost feels like you have to like offspring to get any kind of real advantage. But that's so expensive, right?
Right.
So you have to like sack a Lotus Petal.
Well, and it didn't help that was my first match on the deck ever.
And he for sure has played that mirror match. Like the other guy has played the mirror match. You're gonna have to practice with Marcin. Marcin, our boy Marty. Yeah, he's gonna have to grind you on some mirror matches. But yeah, I know I'm a big fan of the Belcher deck. I think it's a really cool deck. If you have an idea, if you don't have an idea of what you want to play in Modern right now, while the format is relevant, I think the Belcher is really cool. The current iteration of it's a fun deck, and it's a control deck. Well, it's a combo deck first because you're trying to do that. But what I like about it is it actually kind of unironically reminds me of Splinter Twin. Because it's a control deck that has the combo package finish, which is why I was telling Sal in that one game, like, you're playing against Demir, you got time, bro. And then he was like, oh, you're right. He was just chilling. And then Sal's laughing his ass off. Like, me, I started talking shit about the opponent. I'm like, oh, bro, he's sweating, bro. He's sweating. And then Sal's just like, ha, 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 like, whatever. But, because you
Sounds
always...
just like Sal, too.
Well, you always have that control package, and that's why I like it against Prowess sometimes. You're like, oh yeah, be in Veil, turn your turn off, and it's almost like a time walk sometimes, especially against Corey Steele specifically, where he's going wide more than he's making the guys big.
Yeah.
Unless they have like that sick ass double lava dart turn or something crazy.
Oh my gosh, lava dart really is the thing that I fear most in that deck. If they cast lava dart, I'm like, well,
yeah,
I'm
lava
dead.
dart is the closest that deck gets to legacy when you're playing modern. It definitely feels very unfair. What's it called? Okay, so we talked about RC Mini.
Yeah, the top 8 would, just so you know, because we only talked about the percentages, was Is It Prowess, Jeskai Oculus, Prowess,
No,
Omniscience.
2 Oculus, 1 Control.
Oh, I'm sorry, 1 Control. I can't read. Is It Prowess, Omniscience.
Also, 3 Omniscience.
Yeah.
2 Oculus, 1 Jeskai
Omniscience?
Control. That's the mid-range deck. Don't let them lie to you.
Yeah.
And then 2 Is It Prowess.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
The Omni deck is actually just really good.
Honestly, if you look at this top 16, the format looks pretty good. Like, for all the people that are like crying about like one deck format, like, yeah, there's a lot of Is It Prowess decks here, but there's a fuck ton of other decks that are also getting highly represented.
Yeah, I just think the representation of 33% of like the full room.
Well, that's the confirmation bias. Like, what you show up with matters way less to me than like the results.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because like everybody and their mother showed up with the deck that was going to hand them free wins, hoping they'd get the free wins. They all want to be what's our boy's name? Adam Weiss. You ain't him, okay, buddy? But no, like I'm looking at the results. I'm like, dude, anybody come in with that prowess deck. Anybody can and so like the really good players are going to flourish through. But if everybody shows up with the deck, yeah, it's going to put up a ton of top 32s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did face one guy that was playing the hottest tech that beat me on day 2 when I did the 10K. He was playing the Hearth Elemental that lets you discard.
Oh yeah, I remember Kowalczyk before he left. I was like, I need a playset of these.
And he was
cost reduced for instant sorceries and adventures. Yeah. 1 mana 4/5.
Yeah. And it also is really good with Corey Steelcutter. So when you go, I'm going to cast my 1 mana 4/5, cast on the spell, and you're like,
yep.
Now you also have a giant blocker.
Well, it also is a draw spell. It's a discard and draw, I believe.
Yep. I think it's discard your hand.
Discard your hand, draw 2. Yeah. So that's also.
So when you have no cards in hand, you're like, whoop, boom, draw 2.
Well, the thing is, like, even if you draw like lands, you're like, cast them out of exile.
Well, and on top of it, that guy was also playing Bolt Wave, so he's playing a burn variant, so he would kill me even faster than like most people.
Bolt Wave is aggro. That is awesome. I like that, but Bolt Wave is aggro. Like, that's crazy.
It was
I'm honestly kind of surprised. Maybe with better mana, I'm surprised people aren't playing Helix. Like, Helix Core Steel seems like the truth.
They are in your Jeskai mid-range deck.
Corey Steel Helix?
No, not Corey Helix.
I want to see some Corey Helix. I think I think that's the answer. I think you're beating their ass. It's like old modern.
Oh my gosh, absolutely! Because you're beating all the aggro decks because you're gaining life.
Right, just the one resolve. Yeah, and you're just like that's how old Burn used to feel like. It was like the guy that drew the Lightning Helix won back when Burn was like one of the better decks in modern. And you're like, oh, you have a Eidolon? Cool. Gain 3 life. You want to start casting spells? And it's even worse when you kill the creature with it, as opposed to sending it to face. Not that you can't, which is also like even better for you.
You'll see it this next week. I'll be playing Jeskai Prowess on Moto.
All right, man, I'm down. Just get Prowess,
That would
maybe.
be so hot.
What else do you get in white? I mean, even maybe
Your
maybe.
board gets way better because you can like actually board for like Oculus decks.
True, and it's a rest in peace is pretty good. Isn't there like there's a spell kind of similar to oh, maybe that's not that good. But
You could put in Shard Mage's Rescue.
yeah, but I'm thinking of like isn't there like a one where you when you attack with guys it gets cost reduced and it's like a flash all ring or something like that? But that doesn't
Oh
necessarily
yes,
seem
they just made one.
it doesn't seem that much better than Witch Talker Frenzy though. So maybe I'm just being a little bit extra. Shard Mage's Rescue and Shelter by Ghost is probably like all you really need.
But you want like more spells that you like that are like instants and sorceries that you can be like
yeah, that's true. But I also don't hate the like cards like Shelter by Ghost that are just so highly efficient. And like, isn't that also lifelink?
It is also
So like
lifelink.
just having that with Lightning Helix might be just like insane. It is like a turn 3 kind of play though, where you're like, I'm gonna enchant a monk and then have a 1-drop. So some of it can be too Christmas landy maybe. I haven't brewed enough in standard right now to really like know if that would feel good or if the deck would be too clunky. But maybe I'll try it on a mono league if I have some free time because I want to play more standard, but I refuse to download Arena. You can't make me do it. Like I just hate.
Who's over it?
I'm done with Arena, and I don't want to be like Frank, where it's like, have you ever seen the memes of the the Aether Drift lands where they're like driving and it's like, like. Have you seen the one where it's like Chandra, but she's playing Arena on her phone while she's driving?
No.
It's like her face, like, and she's holding the phone with the Arena while she's driving. It's so funny.
That's me.
I'm like, that's literally Frank.
Well, up until recently, my girlfriend's been yelling at me, being like,
Good.
"You need to stop doing
Thank
things
you,
while you're
Sabrina.
driving." And I was like,
Also, we have to stop calling Winter Sabrina. Damn it.
"Wait, what?"
Because we used to call Winter Sabrina because of Kai's ex.
Oh,
You remember that story?
no.
It was Kai's birthday, and we were there, and his ex was there, and Sal had like the toothache of all toothaches, and I was like, dude, I've been there. Go to the fucking dentist. I'm telling you, you have like a nerve issue or something. So his brother-in-law is a dentist, and was like, I can see you like on Friday. I'm like, buddy, he's your brother-in-law. Tell him it's an emergency and like he'll help you out like tomorrow. So then he's like, it's not that big a deal. And he's at the restaurant like this. Like, dude, like so much pain. So when the girlfriends introduced themselves, it was Winter, Kai's ex, and then somebody else, Sal heard Sabrina's name, but saw Winter and thought mine was Sabrina. So she's like, he thought for like the whole time on Discord he'd be calling her Sabrina, and then Winter's like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm Winter, and people always think that name is fake. People think
all the time.
all the time people are like,
Even Sabrina was like, "That's her name."
Yes.
Like on purpose.
Yes.
And I was like, "Yes."
Yes, that's her name. Oh my god, speaking of which, so we were at my mom's house for Mother's Day, and my niece, she goes to my little sister, and she's like, "Uncle Stan's here," and Snow. We're like, what's her name? Snow.
Snow. I'm gonna call her Snow now. I'm gonna name her Snow in the
I just thought it
Discord.
was so cute. I was like, you know what? You're on the right track. Fucking close enough, right? So cute.
I'm gonna like do a meme of Winter Night Stories and call it Snow Night Stories.
That's funny. Okay. Anything else to add before we end the show?
No, we don't have to talk about energy. I was just gonna go over like what happened in what were the top decks in the 10K and the 5K.
I did get to play Legacy at their FNM, although I didn't. I don't think I'm going to be able to go this week.
That's because it's gonna
But I
be
went
Popper
last
now.
week.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, oh my god, can we just talk about that for a little bit? What is with the Popper trios? Like, there's like a trio event for Energy, and they don't want to do Legacy, which, if the reason is because they don't have an invite for that seat anymore, and people might not show up as a result,
do Pioneer.
just fucking do Pioneer, 100%. Especially because it doesn't matter now necessarily, but it's going to matter soon,
Right.
And it never hurts to practice Pioneer when you might have a 10K or a 5K or whatever.
Well, and I would actually use those cards that I'd buy, unlike Popper cards. And on top of it, like, wouldn't they want people to buy cards from them for that format?
Maybe they don't have enough for both formats because it's all the same cards right now.
Popper and Pioneer?
Oh, no, it's Standard and Pioneer.
Oh,
There's so much
like,
overlap right now. I mean, 3 years of Standard rotation is what it is, but
well,
I don't know. I think that's just
all
a
the
flop.
new cards are more powerful than what's in Pioneer.
Doing Popper is crazy. Like, do a Popper 5K or a 10K.
Yeah,
Sure. Totally fine. It's standalone. Cancel Legacy and don't do Pioneer.
Yeah, so they can
What
get
is going
60
on?
people to show up for that Popper 5K.
If there was a Popper 5K, I think it'd be more than 60 for sure.
Well, I think that it was because of Mother's Day this weekend, but like the standard one had like 82 people.
It had to be Mother's Day then because Standard is just.
It's so
Standard
good.
is great.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I might even say, be like, hey, see you later, Mom. No, just kidding. Maybe. Standard is great. This happens every year. Mother's Day. That's the best weekend. It's like,
I hate it. I get mad every time because, like, you know, especially with me doing all this side work with theaters and stuff, my mom, like, I don't have evenings anymore.
Mhm.
Don't see my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Don't see my mom. And so my mom was like, so I'll see you on Mother's Day? I was like, yes, you will. Because I am not going to, like, lose my life over, like, being like, sorry, I'm going to Energy.
Yeah.
Because I worked Saturday, too, so I couldn't go to the mod.
Sure. Yeah, that's unfortunate. With that being said, I think that's going to be our show for here. Next episode, we're going to talk about mostly Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy pre-release.
Final Fantasy pre-release time. If you haven't gotten your tickets here at Boar's Hat yet, I recommend doing it soon because even though, like we talked about earlier, I've been doing my best to hedge, we're selling out of Final Fantasy like fast. That's actually crazy how fast it's going.
Oh.
And we don't have any online orders. It's all like pickups only. And it's still selling out. So I'm like, damn. Like I have people messaging me that are like coming out from like other like areas like Naperville and Chicago and stuff. They're like, so is your pre-release gonna sell out? Or if I buy a ticket, am I good? It's like, yeah, you bought a ticket, you're good. Like you're good. And I can pick up my stuff at pre-release. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. They're like, okay. My store didn't have any. I'm like, God damn. Like how? You know, like you gotta hold it for your locals.
Right.
Anyways, I'm not gonna complain about that. I love seeing new faces, but yeah, if you want to play, I mean, I am running out of seats. And also the allocated pre-release kits. That's never happened to me. They said we ordered like 18 kits because we're like, we can get extra ones and I won't rip any, you know, and we're also not letting people take them home this time. Like usually you can buy one and go home.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, none of that for this set because I won't have enough. In addition to all that, they were like, oh yeah, you're only going to get like 15 or 16 cases because they're allocated, which I'm like, what? There's only that many? To be fair, though, that allocation comes from Wizards. So because we don't do Sunday events, I think that kind of hurts us. And we're not premium because they fucking hate us. But
hate you.
Yeah.
Well, you will be with this new space.
Eventually, it'd be nice to run Sunday pre-releases as well. I'd love to do because that mean we'd be doing like 6 events, but it'd be kind of fun to do like 6 events.
I actually would prefer that because Pastimes does it on Sundays, and like our normal group goes there. So they would be here.
I have been told a lot of people that go other places on Sunday that are local to us are usually like, if you guys were open on Sundays, we'd gladly come here. And I'm like, I know, but like it's my only day off, man. Like. And so now we're as we get settled into this new place.
I can run the register now. I can do it.
True. Yeah, Frank will cover the Sundays. But no, for sure. Like I definitely want to start running Sundays. 6 events would be cool because then we could be like, oh, if you buy all 6, you get like some kind of discount maybe. Or if you run the gauntlet, I want to do like you went undefeated the whole weekend, you won a box, you know, something crazy like that. Because doing that the whole weekend would be crazy for more than 4 events. But thankfully we can do 4. Back in the day, we'd only be able to do 3 starting at midnight. God dang. Thank God that we don't have to do only midnight pre-releases anymore.
I'm so glad, especially as an old person. I don't know how they did it back in the day. I was in high school at the time, so I didn't think anything of it.
Dude, I would be in high school and we would do F&M into the midnight, and then I'd work at 6 in the morning to 8 p.m. Because I was doing the 14-hour shifts at the nursing home.
No.
So we'd get out of pre-release at 4:30, and I'm like, I guess I'm going to go home, take a shower, and go straight to work. Dude, oh, my back would be killing by the end. And then it was always back-to-back, so I was in high school, so 6 to 8, 6 to 8. So it's like going to sleep to come straight back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that's going to be our show for now, unless you have anything else to add.
No.
Shout-outs to...
Shout-outs to MTG Chicago for doing all of our editing and also letting us use his equipment. He also does our thumbnails. He is the king. We appreciate him so much. Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you to Nancy Steroids for doing our intro and our outro music. Please go ahead and check him out on Spotify. We hear that he does get some people from us, and he has been releasing new music recently, so please check him out. Shout out to Borsak Gaming for allowing us to, again, in the new space, I'll record.
And we'll do some shorts showing you guys the work in progress later on.
Ooh, I'd love that. More content. We love it. And shout outs to the patrons, as always, for supporting the show. You mean the world to us. We can't tell you how much it means for you to support our show. And for those of you that would like to continue to support, hit the like, comment, subscribe button. Even if you can't support Patreon, it does a lot, and goes a long way.
Appreciate it. And yeah, if you aren't into Discord, hit us up there, join the Discord, and I think we got it, everybody. Thanks for joining us. If you're new here, appreciate you being here, and we'll catch you next time with some updates from Final Fantasy and what our thoughts are on that, and hopefully some more funny stories.
Yeah.
If you have some funny stories for us, let us know in the comments. I love funny stories.
We do. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time for Final Fantasy Brews.
Peace.